Hello, family. Welcome to the Healing Center. The main purpose of this series on I Am Wealthy is to help you understand mainly yourself. When you understand yourself, it becomes easy for you to understand the world. The world here, we mean everything that surrounds you, the people around you, the affairs that you are involved in, or the affairs that affect your life in general. So, this is the main aim of the series, The Healing Center. It's all about healing in the sense that you understand healing to be. Healing in the sense that whatever negative things that have been affecting you, you will have an easier way of dealing with them. So much that you will solve the issues that are impacting negatively on your life. That's the major purpose of this series, the Healing Center. And the first thing, the first port of call in healing is all about the mind. And when we're speaking of the mind here, we're speaking of how you understand things. Because the mind is all where everything is created. You create through the mind. This is stuff that we'll talk about later on. But here, let's focus on the moment you're born, or even before you're born. But let's talk about when you're born, when you're a little baby. Babies, it has always been scientifically proven that from when they're born up to the 7th year, they have this innocence. You call it innocence in the sense that they're empty of any blueprint or worldview. So it is at that period where the brain or the mind of the human being is so malleable because it's gullible. Hey, it absorbs just like a sponge everything, consciously and subconsciously. So the mind is empty, hence we say it is pure, hence we say it is innocent. But then as time goes on, during that period, when the baby is born up until 7 years, it gets programmed. How is it programmed? It is programmed by the environment. The environment here, we're speaking of the people around, the events, and all the other experiences that the baby or this human being goes through. So why are we talking about this? It is because all the times when you say it is yourself, I would want to challenge you and tell you that it is not yourself. It is this program that is doing all these other things. What you call yourself mostly, especially when you are unconscious, is what this program has always been within you. You are always programmed. You're, let's say, a 45-year-old educated being, wealthy or middle class, or even poor. All these things that you know about yourself are what has been created by this program. This program being the world affairs that are affecting you. And let me hasten to tell you that I'm not a conspiracy theorist and trying to tell you that there's been people that have been conspiring to bring you down. I'm not the one person who will be telling you about big farm and saying they are wrong. In fact, those are very good people that are trying to do their best. I won't be telling you about the banking system. I won't be telling you about these powerful families that are hell-bent on controlling this world. I am not going to do that. What I am going to tell you is that whoever is there doing whatever they're doing, it's because of their own intentions as well. And it is stuff that you can avoid being affected by. Simply, if you talk about big fam, obviously these are people that are putting a lot of money into research, and these are people that are interested in solving the problems of this world. But then remember, this world is commercialized. What would you do if you created something that you believe that the world needs? And apparently you seem to be gaining some momentum into a monopoly. You defend it. So this is what everybody is doing. But then let's get back to this program. So all these things that you believe in, all these things that you think you are the things that you are taught to believe that you are. You're black. Who said you're black? You're white. Who said you're white? You're male. Who said you're male? You're female. Who said you're female? You're African. Who said you're African? I am not saying they were wrong, but remember, it's somebody who told you that. Knowledge and intelligence. And most of the times we believe in knowledge instead of the intelligence. Intelligence is what we were born with. On the first day or even before, remember, we were doing things according to the laws, the pure laws of nature. And as the moment you popped out, we started being programmed into believing that, do things this way. And before you know it, we are taking the shape of this world. We are taking the shape of this program. Is this program a bad thing or a good thing? It's neither of the two. It exists. The moment you realize that when I am saying I'm angry, who taught me that this is anger? When I say this thing makes me happy, who taught me happiness? This is the way you are supposed to deal with things, and this is what is called consciousness. Consciousness is all about being aware of what is happening and creating that space between the real self and those things, the emotions, the thoughts, and the experiences. If you're able to create that space, if you're able to let go a little bit, you will realize that all these things that you thought you were are actually things that you were taught to believe and think that you are. And so you start asking, who really then am I? That's when you start searching for reality. That's when you start realizing that even the search in itself has this element of futility. Just be. And all these things that are happening, they will happen for you instead of happening to you. Instead of them controlling you, you start being in control of those things. And the narrative now, you're the one who's creating your own narrative. You're the one who's actually responsible for your own blueprint. What do you believe? Who taught you to believe these things? There is two different types of teachers. There is one teacher who teaches you and they would want you to take it hook, line, and sinker. And there's the other teacher who teaches you to think independently, to think for your own self, outside the proverbial box. But then there's not even a box. The moment you start believing that there's a box, you are thinking within that box. Let it go. Even this teaching that I'm delivering here is meant to help you start thinking differently. Be your own man, be your own person, be your own woman. And before you know it now, you start thinking differently. The so-called financial or banking system that you have been told is screwing you, you start thinking differently and saying, okay, but here, remember there is laws of nature as well. So these laws or these systems are operating within this level of the laws, so I can transcend them, or transmute them utilizing the higher laws. As simple as all that. Things that were created by man, systems that were created by man, ideologies that were created by man or human beings can be transcended. You can transcend religion. You can transcend all the isms. You can transcend racism. You can transcend systems just like apartheid. You can transcend apartheid. How? By believing that these laws of man only govern man at a particular state or particular stage of their lives, and you can move above them. That's how such systems have always been conquered. That's why even new developments, or should we call them new systems, have been brought in the place of the old systems. Dynasties have fallen. Where is the Roman Empire? It had to fall. Why? Because somebody used a higher law than the one that was used to create that empire. It had its space, its place, its time. But then, remember, the law is above space and time. If you utilize that law, you will always conquer. So this is healing. Healing is believing, or not even believing. Healing is understanding the laws of nature and know that the laws have this hierarchy. So when you're looking at whatever is affecting you right now, and then you understand the laws that are governing it, it becomes easy for you to transcend it by using a law that is higher. Hatred. Pain and suffering that is caused by hatred can just be transcended by applying the law of love, which is higher. As simple as all that. Before you know it, you're vibrating higher. So it's all about vibration. That is why on one of the episodes within this series, we'll talk about the laws, the principles that govern this universe, and how you can use them for your good. Applying a higher law to transcend a current lower law, to create, to change, to transform, to be successful, or to heal yourself and the other. But you cannot heal anybody else if you haven't healed yourself. And how do you heal yourself? By understanding yourself. And how do you understand yourself? You understand the universe. How do you understand the universe? You understand the laws. And how do you understand the laws? By understanding the law that is above those other laws. It could be a little bit of a long story, but this is, if you start grasping the fact that all these other things, the way how you think, the way how you understand them, has this element of impurity. The moment you start purifying your thoughts, the moment you start purifying yourself, you let go of these things that are weighing you down, and that's how you have this grasp of this inner peace, and you have this understanding, or let's call it the overstanding. You start vibrating higher, and that's how you conquer. That's how you heal. This is all about healing. That's how you're able to let go unconditionally, and that's how you win. I am Ngobawin here on I Am Wealthy, and this is the Healing Center series. This is the first episode. Please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. And let's grow this community. This is for your healing. I am wealthy.